welcome to Big Dad Industries. I am Ben, Big Dad, Chief Yeoman at Big Dad Industries. Tonight is part two of our technocratic Mage the Ascension Chronicle, Count to 10. They may finish it tonight. We may have one more session. We may have two more. I don't know. Players, would you like to introduce yourselves?
I am House Tremere, and I am playing Agent Abraham Simpson Smith, a member of the New World Order, who is very interested in keeping official records clear of deviancy and any affiliation we may have in the ongoing proceedings of this story.
My name is Rhett Altman. Tonight I am playing Sal. Sal is a technocratic crime scene investigations artificial intelligence. The software powering Sal is completely alpha quality, but everyone at Iteration X assures that everybody that it will be just fine, and it certainly will be.
Hello, I am Rosie, regular size mom, and tonight I am playing Agent Nora Goodman, a member of the progenitor, a doctor, I think, and specializing in forensics.
I like the you think. Unfortunately, Eldritch Echoes Tyler has to work late tonight as he's going on vacation for a week. We all know how that goes sometimes. And it's been so long. My wife really wanted to play tonight. She made me do this. She's not even hiding it. So we are going to pick up where we left off with the other players having input over his character. And me working as the, oh god, you're going to kill him if you do this, voice of reason. Rosie, if you could be so kind and give us a recap.
Sure. Our agents were summoned to the office in Cincinnati at Construct Geppetto. It's a stereotypical NWO setup. There's some donuts, coffee, that sort of thing. We all sit down and get prepped. A 5-year-old named Regina Balfour was kidnapped while shopping with her mother at a large store. She was kidnapped by a man and another accomplice. The man died at the scene and had melted his fingertips off with acid. He attempted to grab Regina's backpack from her mother. The backpack contains necessary life-saving medication for Regina, which means not only did he know the girl, but we are on a tight time limit to save her and keep her alive. The reason we got called in is because his face pinged in our database as a George Lewiston, a technocratic citizen. He's retired, but he worked for the technocracy at the ATF. We are going to be inserted as FBI agents. We are given our new faces to maintain our identities. Da-da-da-da. All my notes about the drug. The accomplice wore a ski mask and drove a Ford Taurus. Last session ended with us locating the Ford Taurus. Regina Balfour is the daughter of a preacher of the Church of the Parabolic Angel, and we need to save Regina and minimize loose ends.
Would you like someone to take over?
Yeah, my notes get a little more scattered at that point.
Going along, the investigators have seen a number of signs that they believe are indicative of the 10 plagues of Egypt. from water turning into blood to animals with boils, disease. Now they're very wary and on the lookout for more. What was Tyler's character's name? I never remember names.
Alex Krychek.
Yes, Alex.
Yes, Alex did some digging into Mr. Balfour's background and saw he had a minor connection to this thing called the Cult of the Bloody Tongue out of Africa. The group also discovered, while going through his house, that he paid off all his bills, destroyed his computer and cell phone, and saw a picture of him with a young woman standing in front of the same Ford Taurus that was seen leaving the scene. Does anyone remember who that woman was?
The
Yes.
neighbor told us.
Yes, it was
Her name
Lindsay
is
Peel.
Lindsay. She is his niece.
And
And sorry.
Go ahead.
Further, Mr. Balfour knew George as Zach Nowitzki. The neighbor knew Zach as George, which is how he appears in our records. And all of the parabolic angel product that Zach George was supposed to be moving was actually sitting in his garage.
Pallets of it.
Pallets of it. So, like, he wasn't selling it for some reason. We don't know why.
Too much. Multi-level marketing scams are like that.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's something supposed to be happening. Let's see, Tuesday, I believe. The next few days, according to the church's website, that they believe some holy date is coming.
End of the world?
Something like that.
They've said it before.
How long ago was that? What happened around then?
It's an excellent question.
They said 2 years ago. There was a court case.
Oh, the investigator who was trying to take custody away.
What was their name?
That was Lindsay.
That was indeed Lindsay Peel.
Yeah.
And with that, we shall resume at George's house.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
George frequented a diner called the Extravaganza.
Eggs extravaganza. That's correct. All right, so we are at George's house. You just got one of you used your power of correspondence / data to find the car.
I used mine so I could multitask.
Yes, I love that. I love that use of mind. Also, this Kanar is delicious. Kanar. It's from the Cardassians.
Very technocratic appropriate.
Drink responsibly. Yes, the car was found in a rest stop parking lot near Pittsburgh.
Cross state lines.
If I said something different last time, no, I didn't.
No, I remember I
Yeah,
was
you did
unfortunately
distinctly
correct.
say Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. I did. I specifically said Pittsburgh, but I don't remember if I said like in Pittsburgh or something. So you are at George's house. It's now, I think, evening-ish. You guys have been working hard all day.
How did we get the information relating to the location of the
I
vehicle?
tracked them via the network of all cameras. The entire camera network, just connecting one dot to the next.
Or you
scanning
had
them
an
all.
intern do it.
Well, they were, feeding, yeah.
Yeah, but like sometimes like powers, the technology is like, yeah, I just called a cab. Or I made the intern do it.
One of my technocrats, like one of her like sort of research powers was literally she'd snap her fingers and hold back her hand, and one of her many interns would hand her a folder.
Love it.
That's great.
So if we know the camera, do we know how long ago that was?
It happened. Let's see. So you are just the day after, right? Probably about the time would piece it distance from here to Cleveland, going average regular speed, just not draw attention. A few hours after the incident.
A few hours after the incident.
Mm-hmm.
So how much? I think the question I'm trying to ask is how much time has transpired from when the image was gathered by the camera to now?
The intern sends you another another email of her getting there with them getting there with the car and the girl, getting into a silver Chevy Impala and driving away like 3 hours after. I don't know how long it takes to get to Pittsburgh from Cleveland.
So it was 3 hours ago.
Not 3 hours ago, but like 3 or 4 hours after the kidnapping.
3 or 4 hours after the kidnapping.
Okay, and so how long ago is the picture of them leaving the scene to the moment that we are able to drive to Pittsburgh or do something else?
From this moment?
Yeah, so how long ago was the picture taken? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Of them leaving, yeah.
Yes.
A day minus 4 hours?
Like 14 hours?
14 hours.
It could be almost anywhere if they were
To
driving
quote
fast
a
enough.
Saturday Night Live sketch, I'm not so good with numbers.
I'm going to need a new intern soon. Well, first, license plate search on that Impala. If there is a license plate, of course, just due diligence.
Yeah, that'll get back to you in a bit.
In the meantime, Sal quickly looks to the side and initiates a phone call to the Pennsylvania State Patrol to have the Taurus detained and impounded.
Okay.
See,
Yeah, this
abandoned
is
vehicle at this movie.
yeah, FBI. Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll have it here at one of our like they call them station houses for the state police, but the equivalent of a station house along the highway there.
Thank you, officer. Excellent work.
Mm-hmm. Anything we can do to help the feds. Anything you all want to do?
I was
a thing. Two of you did an autopsy on George's body, and you saw
Yes.
that his brain had no abnormalities to it.
Right.
So presumably he was of sound mind when he carried out this.
He was so sound and
Well, there was one abnormality where he
mind
shot himself.
is a fundamentally different question.
not under the influence of controlling substances
Mm-hmm.
or such apparent pathways.
Yes, this is correct.
I did have an idea. If these kidnappers want the girl's backpack, we could attempt to offer it to them.
What, in a media plea to save her life?
Absolutely. We can command the press if we must. Maybe it's not a good idea. I'm open to the amalgam's input.
Prior simulations indicate that it is a risky gambit, but unfortunately the trail has gone cold on more passive means.
We may get a hit on the car. we should prep some sort of a press release, whether or not we indicate this.
That is a good idea. It's a very good idea. With how public this case is, a press conference wouldn't be outside of expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor question mark. If you'd like to have like a progenitor team of citizens show up and grab all the shit in the garage for analysis, you can do that.
Yes, I also need the medication in the backpack itself examined. I want to make
You
sure
already
that
did that.
it is. Or did I already do that?
Yes.
I apologize.
It's okay. It's like a cortical steroid.
So it is what it's supposed to be.
Yes. The doctor, listen, her parents may be quacks. The doctor she goes to is very good at his job.
Okay. So then I definitely want all of the products in the garage examined by some of my fellow progenitors. I also want to examine the makeup of the corticosteroids in the backpack to see if there's some kind of signature similar to the items from the garage. I'm still not entirely convinced that the medication is wholly kosher.
I'm pretty sure this family isn't Jewish.
You know what I mean?
I was trying to make a joke for Sal. Get it?
That is an example of humor.
I love
I
technocracy.
see. Kosher has two meanings.
They've got style. Oh, so the rest of this wine's not bad.
All right, maybe I'll try some after I finish my my cocktail.
So
Do we have the means to securely courier objects back to the construct?
such as?
Well, Sal went into an obsessive compulsive fit of grabbing every last shard of smashed
Oh
electronics.
yeah. I remember
And
that
Anywhere
now.
correspondence?
now has a vast collection of little tiny bags.
You do, but the only problem is it's in Cincinnati and you are currently in Cleveland.
Well, that's why I was asking if there was a courier service.
I mean, there's absolutely a courier service you can do. I don't know how long it takes to get to Cincinnati because I never anticipated this.
Well, how many dots of correspondence do we need to, like, open a wall and put it into... Oh, our void engineer can help.
So your void engineer has 3 dots of correspondence. Wait, what the hell? He's got 3 correspondence and 2 dimensional science. I was expecting, for some reason, I always expect dimensional science to be on the right. So
Spirit.
I think he could teleport stuff, but he'll take a lot of paradox for doing that.
So
I was thinking more along the lines of, say, a drone.
Yeah, I feel like the NWO has to have some sort of
Or perhaps
cleanup
there's
team
a
as
FedEx
well, right?
somewhere where they take it in the back and quietly run it through a portal.
Well, I'm kind of playing the technocracy is a little cash poor right now.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
But
you could just
have.
It's
They
fine.
could just send a helicopter.
is
There's
the
no
urgency
rat hole on this though, so.
I don't know where we ended on that.
I don't know where we are now.
Is there an urgency to returning the shards to Cincinnati?
Well, there were damaged hard drives and other things like that. I was thinking that if they got back to the construct, somebody perhaps with, you know, temporal science or entropic science would be able to assist.
To borrow a phrase that I'm going to butcher from my cousin Vinny, that is a reasonable, well thought out, and plausible idea. Overruled.
Overruled.
I mean, we could just hire a taxi.
I'll be honest. He had wiped his computer before that. You wouldn't get much that you don't already have.
Fair enough.
Okay. So then do we go after the car?
But we can still say you did it in case I need to give you a random clue later on.
Fair enough.
Because I really like that line of thinking.
Yeah. Can we
was
flavor
good.
it as we just like stop at a UPS store and Alex goes in the back and like just sort of works a little correspondence so we could get there like faster?
So then you go to DHL, whip out your badge, and you say, you're overnighting this right the fuck now.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, we could also just grab a cop and say, drive with your lights on.
Yeah, you can do that too.
And don't tell anyone, it's classified.
We'll kill you.
Real easy, right? We got the cops that we can just tell what to do, and they'll do it.
Fair enough.
Why do we overthink these things?
Why do we overthink these things? That was like the time you guys wanted to tail somebody, and you wanted to be invisible while you did it, but none of you had enough dots in correspondence to see
Please
past
stop.
the invisibility field.
Ben, baby technocrat mistakes. Please stop.
So the hard drives are sent.
Yes.
And we're back at the police station. I'm
You
going to
are
tell them to
still
start
at his house.
drafting. Oh, I was going to say we go back to the police station to have a cop do that, but
You can go back. You can do something else.
yeah, unless we're going to Pennsylvania first. But I think we should, at least one of us should be here to draft a press release and to be there when it's given.
Have any of you spent willpower?
I believe I spent one last session on a magic effect.
Because
I'm sorry, scientific.
I say a good night's sleep will get you back that one.
That's tomorrow's, Abe.
Well, I mean, also, I do have 3 dots of life. Could I pump myself full of something to drive us while we are, while the other two sleep?
At this point, coffee will be fine. You just won't get
I'm
back the
addicted
willpower.
to coffee, so that works.
I will note that I can recharge from the cigarette lighter of the car and do not require sleep.
Wonderful.
Well, then it looks like I'm getting a good night's rest because the lawyer needs it.
All right. Well, while our good agent is sleeping, will my 2 night owls want to do anything?
Well, if Sal is the one driving, then as soon as 1 a.m. Eastern comes on, Sal's obsession with Coast to Coast AM begins.
Nice. I don't know enough about Coast to Coast AM.
It is a 4-hour plus long call-in show about conspiracy theories and the paranormal.
Okay, this is about the government kidnapping children and to harvest their adrenochrome. They're just talking about this little Regina girl out in Cleveland. You know, she's probably already dead. Government's not going to give her back. I bet it was the reptilians. Other people calling in, talking about Hollow Earth. Fun fact, in Mage, Hollow Earth is real. I got to play in a cool session where we went there. It was awesome. There were dinosaurs. Other people, go to the usual, the Illuminati, the weird Nazi shit. I don't know. Somehow George Soros is brought up. Yeah, the usual stuff for
there is a lot of
3
noise,
a.m.
but
radio.
usually there is signal.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just randos calling in with the host? Is there perhaps an expert guest speaking about this?
Would you like there to be?
Well, if said expert guest is saying something of possible interest, then maybe while we're barreling through the night.
They have somebody on that they say is an expert. They have a podcast, or she has a podcast a true crime podcast where she and her old college roommate, currently possible right now roommate, talk about murders and hide their lust for serial killers. 9 times out of 10, it's the parents that take kidnap these kids. But really, we need to make sure that the FBI agents are doing their job. Like that caller said before, we have to hold them accountable and make sure that kid is returned if the government has it. What are these people's names? And they just start reading off your fake names, your fake FBI agent names.
All right, so we need that press release.
Nora, what are you up to?
I apologize. It's been a substantial amount of time since our last session.
Would you like me to go over some leads?
Yes, please.
You could drive out to Pittsburgh.
I thought that's what we were doing.
He's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm asleep in Cleveland, ready for will be ready for a press conference to follow.
Oh, I think we had a lack of consensus about what was going on. I thought he was sleeping in the back seat while I drove.
I did too.
I thought you guys were going to stay because he was sleeping.
I mean, I can sleep in the back as long as I get a good night's rest. I don't care.
That's fine. Yeah, you guys are driving out. I was going to ask if you wanted to visit the diner or anything else before you left for Pittsburgh.
Well, I think looking at the car is very important before the police screw it up. Before the mundane police screw it up. And so going back to our lack of communication consensus, it might make sense for Sal and Nora to go out to look at the car because they are the forensics experts on the team. That's the information that would be helpful there. And our Alex and Abe can stay and visit the diner and deliver the press conference. And we can determine where to go from there once we've examined the car.
Sure, that sounds good.
I must reiterate that protocol suggests one never split the party.
Not in my games. Agent Abe, you used your traveler's miles to upgrade your room to one of those nice king size beds, and you're hitting up the mini bar. It's a good time. You sleep peacefully, comfortably. My other two, you are in your vehicle, driving out east along I-80 across Ohio. Soon after you cross over the Pennsylvania border, it begins to rain.
I bet it's going to get colder.
Very soon after that, you hear thunder and you see the lightning.
This is rather curious.
And it begins to pour harder.
Forecast.
And it was not in the forecast, and begins to hail hard. Who is driving?
That was supposed to be Sal, but
I-
since there's two of us, we can mix that up.
I assumed it would be Sal because Sal doesn't need to sleep, and I love the idea that Sal is literally plugged into the cigarette lighter.
Okay. It has become too hazardous to stay on the road without a drive check. Do you pull over? If you pull over, you do not need a drive check. As this, like,
I am
ping pong ball sized hail is coming down?
I am inadequately trained in driving under such conditions.
Nobody put points in drive.
I have one, and I looked it up. Hail is indeed one of the 10 plagues of Egypt.
Yes, it is indeed. And having gone through a checklist of prior ones, the only remaining ones are locusts and darkness.
And
And
Death
of
of the
course,
firstborn.
the death of the firstborn child.
mm-hmm. So you're pulled over. It is horrifically coming down. It is a storm of biblical proportion.
And curiously, like, Sal doesn't particularly have a mind's eye, but occasionally it just cuts to like random video feeds in Sal's algorithm, and it's clips of Captain Kangaroo,
While you're
specifically the ping pong balls raining down.
While you're fascinated by the ping pong balls, the two of you are just like looking up at the sky, like, oh my god. When there's a big lightning flash above, and the clouds overhead, you swear for a second you see the shape of an angel looking down on you.
Did you see that?
It is typical to see a number of figurative items in the chaos of clouds.
So yes.
Yes.
And it disturbs you enough you don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
So you believe you saw it. Alright, that's enough. I'm trying to remember what Alex said about the flies and the other dimension.
How it seemed like they passed through from the other, like the penumbra.
Yes. Unfortunately, this character doesn't know anything about that stuff. But I hope that at this point she can at least get an inkling that there could be something that she interprets as angel-like watching.
As you think that, a bolt of lightning actually hits your car. You are fine. The car, everything goes haywire inside for a second. And then when the radio comes back on, it's just playing gospel music.
I might regret saying this, but I am plugged into the car.
You're fine. I don't want to kill you with a lightning bolt. I mean, I do. I absolutely do, but I'm not going to.
You don't want to kill our android by smite?
Listen, if I killed the android with smite, the car would explode, killing
yeah.
you as well.
Yeah.
So you said the car's systems went haywire and then restored themselves?
But yeah, as the energy left the car, going into the earth, it didn't. Nothing broke. Nothing that mattered broke anyway. And it's also a technocratic car, so it's a little bit more durable than normal. But now, instead of the coast-to-coast radio, it is gospel music playing.
Doctor, this is very, very unusual. air to rubber gap in a standard set of tires generally makes cars impervious to lightning.
Yes. I am wondering if there is an extra dimensional being or anomaly involved somehow in the case.
Cut back to the hotel. You just see Alex just like turning over in his bed. That's your void engineer.
Oh,
Yeah, was that just the cutscene? And
Yeah, that was just like, I wonder who could help us with this.
Ah, okay.
never split the party.
It seemed like a reasonable the usage of our resources. But what we can do is call Alex and ask if there's something.
You could do that, yes.
So since we're pulled over anyway, and we've already been smote once, Nora pulls out her phone and puts it on speaker and calls Alex.
After a few rings, like almost at the point where you'd hit voicemail, you're, hello?
Hi, Agent Krychak. This is Agent Goodman. We are on our way to Pittsburgh, and what can you tell me about extraterrestrial angel-like creatures that might smote our cars with lightning bolts?
That sounds really specific.
It is.
I mean, they might exist. I don't know what you want from me here. I can tell you're probably making a face.
Sal taps its head and closes its eyes and texts a eidetic memory still store of the angel figure.
Wow. Okay, maybe there's something to this Egypt plague thing, huh?
mm,
I really can't tell from a photo whether or not something's extra dimensional or not. That's the problem here.
Agent, can you check the weather report for our current location?
Yeah, what's the mile marker?
Which is also like, quickly
Transmitted.
coordinates are texted.
So clear skies, but the radar map on the thing shows like the darkest red circle I've ever seen before on a radar map in a very small thing.
Indeed, Agent, it's unusual to see a hailstorm cell of this size.
Did you say hail?
There's hail.
What's the next plague?
darkness.
The answer was hail.
Oh, after hail? Or after
No,
voice?
it was hail.
Hail.
Yeah, he just woke up. Well, fuck.
Okay. Thank you, Agent.
I'm gonna try to go back to sleep.
Good luck.
Sleep well.
Thank you. After about 25 minutes, the storm just stops.
Well, Dr. Goodman, I believe the roads are traversable again. Shall we continue?
Yes.
out of curiosity, does the radio continue playing gospel music? Is it like
No,
gospel
if you
on
change
FB
it to the
frequency?
appropriate channel,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
it
And
goes
so
back
on we
to
press.
yes. You arrive safely at the what you call it, the state police uh, building where they have the car, where they towed the car. Along the way, you saw a number of downed trees, cars that seem to have not stopped from the storm and just kept going. They've spun out, some have flipped over. You see some. You can turn on your lights and go around these wrecks because you're cops right now. You see some that were destroyed by lightning. Even like you can see them smoking now, burned husks. Some that tree limbs have fallen on. This storm may have been short, but it caused a hell of a lot of damage. The police station still has power. The cops are running around frantically because they've got to respond to a shit ton of calls. Who are you?
Hello, Agent Goodman and Agent Sal with the FBI.
I'm Trooper Esposito with the Pennsylvania State Police.
Thank you, Trooper. We telephoned ahead earlier about the impound of a Ford Taurus.
Oh yeah. Here, he hands you one of the tools to like pop it up. We've unlocked the doors for you. It's right out there. Go out that door. You'll get into the impound lot.
Were all procedures utilized when moving the vehicle?
Yes, we followed protocol.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse us, we can't really provide much to you in the way of assistance right now. We have a sudden storm of a century. We have to go and maintain the roads on here.
Yeah, we got caught in that on the way up. I'm glad we pulled over.
We're glad you did too.
All right. We need to focus on this, but while we're here, let us know if there's anything we can do to help in an immediate situation.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you. And he goes. This dude just goes back to running around.
All right. We, I guess, wander around until we find the actual impound lot and the car. Okay, so they don't have the Taurus keys. They have like a jack or a crowbar.
It's a Slim Jim. You pop it down the side of the door.
Goes under the window and yep.
But you either go slide through the. These dudes ones that went through weather stripping. Then they found it was a lot easier to like get this rod and put it through the weather stripping up top and hit the door unlock buttons inside.
Okay, but the main thing is that they didn't leave the keys with the car.
Correct.
She still has them. Okay.
Or at least they were not left with the car. But the doors are unlocked. And I would say Sal is smart and technologically advanced enough to hotwire it easily, if that is your wish.
I don't think we need to drive it anywhere. We just need to...
I was just saying.
Yeah. All right.
So it's there. It's
unless
relatively
there's a
clean.
Pittsburgh construct.
God, no. I hate Pittsburgh. I don't care who hears that.
Well,
They put French fries on sandwiches out there.
They do that in a lot of places.
They say yins, Y-I-N-Z, instead of U's.
I'm from
okay,
Atlanta.
so
Ask me my opinion about either option.
examining this car.
Is it true you were weaned on Coca-Cola?
We do use Coke as the generic term.
All right, go ahead, Rose.
Examining this car. Trying to decide where to start. She glances at Sal and says, "All right, where do you think we start?"
A general purpose search with a focus on basic evidence gathering and a review of options for hidden compartments.
Okay. Snaps on crime scene gloves, whatever, and sits down to open the glove box and do that stuff and see what's in there.
The only thing in the glove box is a like a first aid kit and the like the manual that came with the car. There are no personal effects in there. There's no registration for the car. I'm looking through it. The car has been like cleaned out, like more than just vacuumed. Not quite detailed. It's like someone wanted to remove any identifying marks from the inside of the car. There's a small open bag of Doritos in the back seat, and tiny little Dorito fingerprints on the fabric.
I wonder if somebody has been feeding a hippo.
More likely Regina.
God damn it.
I will update that algorithm.
All right. So
Give me an investigate and perception roll, both of you. Or actually, you guys have crazy high. Do you want to roll, or I just give you this information?
I have a 4 perception. It's up to you.
What's your investigation?
I have a 5 perception and 3 more in investigation.
Do you want to roll, or do you want me to just tell you what you find?
You can just
I
tell
have
me.
shit luck.
Okay. You find a receipt like tucked under the seat, like it fell down, from a rental car place between Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Not too far from where you are now, actually.
All right. She pulls out her phone and calls.
It is 2 a.m.
Okay. She calls, and if no one picks up, she leaves a message.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, this is Agent Goodman with the FBI. I found this number in a car we're investigating. Please call me back at number to answer a couple of questions. Thank you.
Okay.
I feel like some combination of maybe forces and my incredibly high amount of perception and investigation would let me do some sort of scan for any hidden compartments or other things of that nature in the vehicle.
Sure. Give me that Arete roll, difficulty, or sorry, enlightenment roll, difficulty 5.
Difficulty 5.
Mm-hmm.
Are tens exploding in this game?
If you wanted to, or we can just count them as 2.
Okay, that's fine as well. It's a 10, so 2.
Okay, 2, perfect. In the it's not quite a hidden compartment, but tucked in to the in the trunk where the jack is kept in this little plastic panel. I know it's there because my parents had the Mercury Sable, which is exactly the same car. It was a pretty good car for a while. You find tucked in this small little black box, maybe the size, like the dimensions of a credit card, but a bit like an inch thick. It looks like there's a magnet on one side. Since you're already you have matter and forces, right?
Both, yes.
Yeah. With that 2 success, I'm gonna say this appears to be emitting radio signals to a global positioning satellite system.
emitting it to them?
This is a GPS tracker.
Ah, okay. Um,
Since you work with law enforcement or as a forensics expert, you would know typically these are not placed inside of the jack. Usually they're just placed somewhere in the undercarriage.
that is unusual. Doctor, do you think perhaps this was not intended to track the vehicle?
Is the tracker emitting?
Yes.
I think that this looks more professional than I would expect a defense attorney to be able to pull off without extensive training. The car looks like it's been cleaned pretty thoroughly. And
Did you say defense attorney?
I don't remember what kind of lawyer she is.
She works for Child Protective Services
Yeah.
as a field agent.
This is more professional than I would expect her to be able to pull off.
CPS don't use these.
No. So maybe she had help, or maybe she had outside training.
Her uncle was a former ATF agent.
Yeah. So her uncle's dead, but maybe he prepped this car ahead of time for her. Maybe he taught her what to do. But Lindsay,
if the car was to be disposed of in a simple vehicle exchange, why the need to track it?
maybe maybe the GPS belongs to the rental company.
If you like.
Maybe. Pardon?
I was say when you guys are done, let me know. We can cut to morning with.
Yes. Assume that our forensics crew is examining the car, and let us know what kind of investigation sciencey rolls you want us to make to find any further information.
You've gotten everything.
Oh, okay.
Abe would have asked if you find the car, make sure that you get any hairs or DNA you can. It's real useful when intimidating people in investigations.
Well, so are lies.
Somebody was a sympathetic link without saying sympathetic link.
Better to have the guilty party that we can actually just, if you can find any hairs in the car, I know you're good at finding stuff like that. You're real good with life.
With those investigate rolls, you absolutely find hairs, both in the back and the front.
Well, and we also have like the little kid fingerprints. I assume that we can lift those and link them to Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fingerprints the normal cops can do. I'm talking about more advanced stuff where we can sequence the hair and find out.
I can hand it to Sal and he can ingest it and tell me who it belongs to, something like that.
Sal is actually collecting these things with, I don't know if you all have seen Gattaca, but like the cops in that have these teeny tiny little vacuum cleaners.
Yes!
That they use to suck up random hairs with and scan for evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, having something of theirs genetically is very helpful.
I just thought of the dumbest thing about Gattaca. Imagine like applying for a job at McDonald's and be like, all right, yeah, we just need a semen sample and you're good to go.
All right, so we're doing that. As far as I'm concerned, cut back over, but Rhett, do you have anything else?
When I cut back over, it'll be morning. You can make it back in time for the press conference if you want, or just after the press conference. It's up to my players.
I think we can like head back.
We
I
just
mean,
had a moment where not all of us together may have impacted our options, so
yeah.
maybe we stick together.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. So you show up at the hotel where those two are as they're eating their continental breakfasts.
Morning. Was the trip to the land of many bridges worth the gas?
She sort of snarls at you and disposes of her empty cup of coffee and gets a new one from the continental breakfast bar, sits down and glares at any hotel staff that ask her for a room number.
I have
Uh,
never ever seen a hotel do that.
Yep. Sal actually pours a cup of coffee as well, largely to have as a prop. Sits down and my olfactory processors indicate that this is indistinguishable from roofing tar.
I mean, it's a little burnt.
God damn it.
Green tea with honey. So, did you find much in the vehicle?
It was pretty thoroughly cleaned. Someone had moved the GPS tracker to the trunk, and there were some little Dorito fingerprints in the back seat, and I believe Sal collected some hairs and items of that nature.
Sal actually reaches into its seemingly endless breast pocket and pulls out a small sandwich baggie full of strands of hair.
Ooh, that's a good catch. We should sequence a few of those ASAP. I'm still not sure if I want to offer the kidnappers the backpack medicine, but at the very least, if we are going with the public image that this is a ransom, we should be publicly saying we're here to negotiate.
I think that at least offering to communicate and get the Regina her medicine isn't a bad idea. At the very least, it will help keep her alive longer for us to find them. But because we're us and we're good at what we do, it will probably give us enough to actually get them.
Not sure I follow, sorry.
We can probably leverage a meetup to actually get Lindsay.
Oh, yes, yes. If they were so fool as to actually meet with us.
I mean, if George wanted to get the backpack, he wanted to at least keep Regina alive, if not have her best interests at heart. If Lindsay feels similarly, she may take the ploy.
Here's a question for you. How much do you really know? One of those GM questions. How much do you know about Lindsay Peel?
Not a whole lot. She's George's niece. That's about it. She works for Child Protective Services.
She owns a brown car.
Did that investigation of the license plate of the car that the kid and the woman moved into come back yet?
It connects to a rental car agency.
It's daytime. We're getting that rental car agency on the line and finding out who rented it.
In fact, I do believe that they have a voicemail to respond to at this point.
Do you want me to call them back now, or after
I can just do it now.
Okay, cool.
I was waiting for a nice little gap to do it in. Hello. This is JT from JT's Rental Cars.
She would just at this point hand the phone to our talkie character, Abe.
Okay. Good morning, JT. My name is Agent Made Up Name, because it's not Smith anymore. And I work for the
still be
FBI.
Smith, let's face it.
My partner contacted you last night and we're in need of some of your records. We need
Um,
to know who rented a vehicle with license plate 123 ABCD.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Anything to help the FBI. Um, it looks like it was a uh, Zach Nowitzki. That's what the debit card we have on file here says.
Do you have a copy of his driver's license as well, I presume?
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead and fax that over to the Cleveland police station we're working out of.
Sure, no
Here's
problem.
their fax number.
Yeah. I just want to say that we have no prior knowledge of this. Uh, you know,
At this time, your company is not being investigated for any wrongdoing.
I have the utmost amount of respect for the police.
Let's hope that it stays that way.
Mhm.
Good day.
Mm-hmm.
I assume we get a fax soon.
Oh,
And
you'll get it when you show up for the press conference.
Zach Nowitzki, you said?
Yeah, the church name.
Aha. And so George, what was the Technocratic Union name we had for him? George what? Wasn't Nowitzki, right?
No, it's not
Nowitzki?
Nowitzki.
Okay. Just
Yeah,
making sure it was a different last name. Okay. So he rented this car, but we saw Linda getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
So he rented it before he died. This was all very well planned out.
Lewiston. His name is George Lewiston.
George Lewiston. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. There's one other question I should have asked.
Absolutely.
When was this car rented?
Probably about 3 days ago.
And how long is the rental for?
5 days.
So in 2 days, it is due back.
Mm-hmm.
You may want to prepare your inventory for not getting it back. It may be part of a police investigation. Okay. So I rented it 3 days ago.
It's not the first time. Not that car, other cars. Stupid drunk drivers.
This raises a rather interesting question about how long it remained at that rest area. We have the camera in question. Can your intern research further back in time to the
I hope
arrival
so.
of this vehicle?
I hope so.
The night before.
And the person driving it was George?
Yeah. And he was picked up by Lindsay in her car.
This is clearly very important to them. Lindsay seemed to believe do we think that they're only interested in protecting Regina, or that they think there's something else going on? We think there's something else going on. They may believe that they're just protecting a child.
Regina may be unknowing or knowing. That is hard to say. I'm sorry, not Regina. Lindsay. We should probably actually, as a higher priority, investigate Lindsay. As our intelligence suggests, she is currently the one who has the child, right? That is
Yes, that is
our
correct.
last best intel. And do we feel like it wouldn't be useful to talk to the parents again about Lindsay, because they're not going to have a openness there?
They're just gonna hate her.
Yeah, I guess set to task some folks on background on Lindsay, financials, social life, past apartments, credit checks.
Where did she live?
Yeah, you'll get all that information after the press conference.
Thank you.
Now, Agent Smith, your bug on the preacher, he seems to be street preaching again, talking about a great deluge that the earth wiped this earth clean with, that God wiped this earth clean with, and how it could happen again if sin continues to persist while the good do nothing.
Abe is reminded of the first time he saw such a street preacher. As a small child in the city, someone standing with a cardboard sign, "The end is nigh."
Much like that guy in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Yes,
Who says it wasn't the same guy?
me.
Okay. Uh, so, this press conference.
Mm-hmm.
What do we want
You don't have to say word for word. You can give me a summary of the information you're giving out. Are you going to show any pictures of the suspects? Are you going to mention Lindsay? Are you going to...
I feel like it would be best to play it close to the vest and not disclose any information we have learned. Showing pictures of the child and her medicine could be quite helpful and evocative, and make sure that even if the TV is muted and Lindsay sees it, she might get the picture. It's in a gas station as she drives by.
Are you going to show off the rental car? A picture of Lindsay and the child?
Sal, what do your statistical models suggest is the best course of action here?
Given that the kidnapper has already exchanged vehicles once before, it seems a likely tactic if the vehicle is displayed again. We do not know how many other opportunities for vehicle exchange there are, or how many other accomplices there are.
But
Counterpoint on that, another dissenting voice in your algorithm. If they travel much further away, having people looking for that specific car will help you tighten the net a bit more in case they go very far away.
So that was actually just while we're taking a beat like that. That was actually why I was asking how long ago we knew that the cars were exchanged, because I was trying to calculate a radius to fire off Amber Alerts in. But 14 hours seemed like so far that the circle would have gone incredibly wide. However, it is an interesting point at this point that we are now just fishing.
Yeah, and one, we now know that we can set up alerts with something to monitor Nowitzki Lewiston's credit card and property transactions, and Lindsay's, to see if they use that again to purchase another rental car or a hotel room. Maybe even see if they have property that they're heading towards, or if they've rented an Airbnb somewhere where they think they can hole up for a little bit. Because why are they driving that way?
Yeah.
You do have the debit card number. He's going to fax it over with the other information. But so yeah, Agent Smith, you know, as a person that understands people, that the parents in this case are going to throw a fucking shit fit if you guys reveal nothing.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
This is fun,
I
right?
still kind of want to reveal nothing and just convince them to not care and that they should understand that revealing would be bad. But
I think you
um,
can sort of give little lacy details that
oh,
the public would care about, but mean nothing.
and I suppose we can give up about George because George is dead. So Lindsay would assume that we knew who George was by this point because George is dead, so we can autopsy and like that's possible.
Mhm.
That doesn't let her know that we're onto her trail leaving the state because that's what I don't want her to know. I don't want her to know that we have already put together she is not in the same state anymore because that might speed up her exodus. But we can talk about George
You can hold a
and
picture
that
of Regina.
definitely a picture of Regina. I'm also going to put a lie in here. And I guess this means actually I need to talk to the parents first. So I'm assuming they're there for the press conference
They
or I
will
can call them.
absolutely be there for the press conference.
I need them to understand that there will be certain falsehoods that are deliberately designed to be heard by the captors. You should not believe these.
Well, they're going to ask what the truth about those falsehoods are.
There is a.
Okay.
I'm going to
Okay. How about
speed up.
this? What can you?
I'm speeding up the clock on her poison
Okay.
so that they think there is less time for them to get the
Okay.
life-saving medicine from us.
Okay. They like that.
I thought it was clever.
That is
It's a
pretty.
very good idea.
It is
And
possible that they are expecting this medicine to run out at a specific time, given the pacing of our discoveries of these.
well, they
It
don't
will
have any
also,
medicine right now, right?
None.
As far as we know, the captors have no medicine.
None.
that
No.
is
Oh, another thing we should do is that would be too much. If we can figure
Let's
out
do the
a
press
location,
conference now.
yeah, before I start, yeah.
Okay.
There's a
So
whole
just
room full of reporters, packed to the gills. You see like microphones, like CNN, like network news is here, Fox News is here. You're walking by them in the hallway. They're talking about is this the domestic terrorism the left is always going on about, kidnapping young Americans, stuff like that. God-fearing Christians.
the Lindbergh baby wasn't returned, right?
I think it died.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to reference that in the speech. So the general gist for the press conference should be that we know who one of the captors was. He died on the scene. Show a picture of George.
With or without the
And
disguise? Because he had dyed his hair black and was wearing a fake mustache.
show a picture of him as he was when he died.
Okay.
So, and not even putting the name George. Not even putting that up there. Just we know who one of them is. He died on the scene. However, one of his accomplices escaped with the child. She has a rare illness. This illness requires medicine, and after speaking with her doctors, the prognosis is worse than it was before. If she does not get this medicine in 50% of whatever the actual timeline is, she will perish.
That'd be like
We
that
believe
would
the
be like
captor.
end of today.
All right, so maybe a little bit later, but make it that 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Okay.
And so we believe the captors want this child alive, and so we are pleading with them. Contact us and allow us to send you the medicine this child so desperately needs. We don't think you're out there to harm this little girl, so let's work together to make sure she is safe.
Okay.
Additionally, a reward is offered for information that can help us get the medicine. You don't even have to help us capture the people. And we will be ready to, we can send it at a moment's notice out of Cleveland to wherever it has to go. We do not know precisely where this child is, but we will get her medicine if you work with us captors.
Awesome. Give me some sort of social role, persuasion, subterfuge, whatever the old World of Darkness equivalent of persuasion is. And then a social skill of your choice that's not appearance. Unless you're really relying on those pearly whites.
The fake makeup that came with the mask? No. I'm going to do...
the new face.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. What's my appearance rating with a new face? Maybe it is worth it.
They have managed to quantify attractiveness.
All right, so I'm rolling manipulation plus subterfuge because that's what this lawyer is good at. What is the difficulty?
Because you gave me so much information in detail, and you have the parents in on it, I will say 4.
All right.
You were very thorough.
Oh boy. I'm spending that point of willpower to have 2 in total.
You're very convincing. Like you channel like every press conference you've seen, and from like movies and stuff. You got the picture. It's very good. If you were an agent, you'd be not getting a commendation for this, but it'd be good. Later tonight or later on today, when they show like their analysis of the press conference, the newsies, they're gonna intercut a picture, like a clip from the mother going, "We just want our little girl back," dabbing away tears in her eyes. Perfect. And then a nameless intern runs up to you guys with the files you requested before, including Lindsay's address, history, even a history of that debit card. Someone took it on themselves to run it.
Any purchases or payments for vendors in Pennsylvania?
No, actually, they were all. There were 2, since it was made. Since it was issued 2 weeks ago, when the account was created by this Zach Nowicki. He spent a lot of money at the Costco where the kidnapping happened the week before and they actually have an itemized list. Let's see, packaged food that did not require cooking, clothing sized appropriate for a 5-year-old girl, a large first aid kit, toiletries, a dozen children's DVDs with a portable DVD player, a lot of energy drinks, nighttime cold medicine, a portable radio scanner that can monitor police, radio, fire, and EMT frequencies, as well as it looks like 2 $1,000 prepaid cards.
This is why the NWO needs to have better control over information. If we knew about this a week ago, freedoms.
Note, they actually called the Costco about this purchase, and it seems that they talked to the management, talked to the teller, because they wanted to cooperate, and they brought up the footage of it because they still had it. And the only reason those $1,000 cards are on there, he paid for them in cash immediately after he bought the other supplies. So there's no record of the cards' numbers associated with the stuff, though.
Whoever trained this guy should get an accommodation.
The technocracy did.
I know.
The NWO did.
Sometimes we do our job too well. It's the Jason Bourne Mission Impossible problem. trying to find someone you train to disappear. Can backfire from time to time.
But hey, he's dead. You're just going with someone he trained. If you,
How are those DNA samples from hair coming back?
yeah, this is a Lindsay Peel.
Okay. Any other
Here's her
individuals?
address.
Do we get any other individuals' DNA swab from the car?
No. Oh, the little
Okay.
girl also.
So there isn't a mysterious other person.
There is not a mysterious third, no.
Thank you.
Or at least there
Not
was
that
not
long
in
hair.
that car.
Okay.
That left
So
evidence.
looking over those, well, one, Rosie, as a parent, here's that list of things purchased from Costco and things. These are things that you're using to keep a small child entertained and happy for an extended period of time. So they probably have a holdout location somewhere. We just need to figure out where.
Even with the $1,000 gift cards, though, they could just be in hotels. Like, you
For a
just plug
short
in that
while.
DVD player, right?
For a little while.
There's a knock on the
$2,000 will
door.
get them a week. Yes, come in.
The detective's here. Hey guys, it's me, the guy you took the case over from. Great press conference. He is not holding a glass of Canar. I just want that pointed out. It's a coffee mug. There is a late 20s, 20-something, early 30-something woman with him. She looks familiar. Yeah. Hi, this is Nicole Lewiston.
Lewiston,
Yes.
related to George.
Yeah, he's my dad. I got this letter in the mail yesterday. I opened it at night. I came over this morning. The letter reads, I will put a picture of it in our chat so you have it. Nicole, I'm sorry. By now, I'm probably dead. Just understand that I did what I had to do and that the little girl isn't going to be hurt. When the people trying to profile me see this, go home. Just go home. Trust me, if you can't go home, then believe this. The Balfours are dangerous and insane, and you can't give their daughter back to them. You wouldn't believe me if I told you why, but it's your head if you do. It is handwritten.
Did you have any siblings?
No, only child.
Hmm.
Although he considered my cousin Lindsay like a second daughter. In some ways, I think
She's,
they were closer than I was with him because she's she's like a government person like him.
She younger than you?
We're about the same age.
If you haven't been informed yet, I regret to inform you. Your father has passed.
You know, after reading the letter, I kind of put two and two together here.
These things sometimes still need to
That
be
was
said.
Lindsay's car, wasn't it?
Has she called you?
No.
Contacted you?
No.
Could you call her?
I tried earlier, but she didn't answer. Went right to voicemail.
Did your father own any properties that he liked to go to, maybe in the mountains or the woods somewhere?
No. No.
Was he a boater?
He used to be before the divorce, and then mom got the boat and then sold it. He told me like a year ago he hadn't been back on the water since. You can tell she's being forthcoming. She is. your mastery of, people and interrogations. She's being forthright and honest.
Yeah, she's a good witness. Good. Hmm.
If Lindsay contacts you, please let us know.
Oh, I'm sending that bitch up the river.
On that note, would you be willing to give us the phone number you have for her?
Yep, here you go. She writes it down on like a tablet nearby. Now, if you
Can
need
we-
me, I'm gonna go home and get drunk with my cat. Oh, can I have my dad's cat?
Yes, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't believe a cat is part of the investigation.
I would hate for something to
And-
happen to it.
Yeah. Rosie's trying to remember. Like, I know we cured it of the boils. Did we leave it with the neighbor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we let her know that the cat is with the neighbor. Name of medication the cat was on for the boils. Oh, we should probably direct her not to clean out her father's house yet.
Yeah, I get you. Active crime scene and all that.
Thank you.
Did you ever meet the Balfours?
No. They're the parents?
Yeah, I suppose because he mentioned it in the letter to you, I thought maybe you knew them.
Did you know your father to be a religious man at all?
I mean, we used to go to church.
Did he ever mention the Church of the Parabolic Angel?
No? What's that?
Interesting.
Did he ever attempt to sell you vitamins?
Do you mean the health pow shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that in his house. And asking what the hell he was doing that for. He said he's just doing it to make some money after he retired. He wore a shirt every now. He wore this shirt when he was mowing his lawn. It was light blue and it just said "pow pow."
He was a member of the Church of the Parabolic Angel. But thank you.
Well, good. Maybe he found religion at the end again. That's good, right?
Hard to
Comforting
say.
smile.
Religion can be used by those who have bad intentions.
Maybe I should join it.
I know.
Reread that letter.
I'm gonna go now.
They make
Actually,
cat wine. Have fun.
Real quick, can we have that letter?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So as soon as she leaves the room, I'm on the uplink to the mobile carriers to map a phone number to a SIM number and to get the list of
You have a
cell that it's
last known
passed.
location. You have
Very
a
well.
street address.
I have a street address of a last known location.
It corresponds to her address that they have on file for her job.
Yeah, she didn't make it that easy for us, but it's still worth it to, run down every lead.
Mm-hmm. It's in Cleveland.
Indeed, in at least 5% of all known situations, the perpetrator was found hiding underneath a sink.
Fascinating. Must be really large sinks.
Maybe it's instinctual.
I request you lose a point of willpower for that.
Oh, I'm working on it.
So now that I have a strand of the genetic code of Lindsay, I I feel like without another lead, and if Nora or Sal or Krychek have something they're pressing to do, I'm down for that. I would otherwise attempt to do some enlightened science.
Krychek's like, so we gonna go to her house or what?
Yeah.
Sure. That's at least nearby, right? Cleveland local, I
Yeah.
would assume.
And then we're not doing this right now, but Rosie wants to know if working together, Nora and Alex could work together on a procedure with her life and his correspondence to use that information we have on her and her genetic material to locate her with like satellites and science stuff.
That is a very well thought out, reasonable approach.
And you're saying no, huh? Yep.
You do it, and you basically get the technocratic equivalent of a file not found exception. This is very unusual. Because if she were alive, or if she were dead, you'd still find her. Based on her genetic code.
I guess I'm going to have to, seeing their results, say that maybe tracking the car is a better way? We tracked the car last time. Maybe there are reality deviants who are immune to our science. It's the strangest thing. But the car is probably findable.
In one of the notes you have from JT's rental cars, he does mention there is a GPS tracker on every single one of their cars.
Is it in the boot or the trunk?
No, it's in the undercarriage.
Huh.
Here, it's like, we'll send last known location or current location, if you want it.
Absolutely.
Does it go to an impound plot?
Sal, did you take the GPS tracker with you?
Yes.
It is Sal's current location.
That's exactly what Sal thought.
So it was moved from the undercarriage to the inside of your car.
No, it was removed from the car she left in to the car she left behind.
Okay.
Oh, she took it out of the car rental, put it in her in George's car. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Smart cookie. She needs to die or be recruited.
We've only been on the case for a day. If she escapes us for 3, let's talk about recruitment.
But her abode?
Her abode.
Let's go to the house.
All right, it's a pretty normal house. What you'd expect for a person when a person in their late 20s tells you that they bought a house and they're not working in a tech field or finance. What you'd expect these days. It's, small, clean though, and it's well maintained, but otherwise unremarkable. I'm not going to make you roll to pick the lock or anything here, because I know you can just turn the door into pee. I don't know.
We can barge in. We're the cops. We can
Yeah.
kick it in. Like there's no end of our possible. Check under the potted plants out front, though.
Yeah, there's a key.
Human nature.
Mm-hmm. Opening the door, one of the first things you see, plugged in on it's like an open concept, right? You can see into the kitchen. It's not marble or granite, but it's nice. Couple of Edison bulbs really light the place. The window blinds match the fan blades. It was well appointed, well cared for, well thought out. Smells good. Anyway, on the kitchen table, plugged into the wall, is a cell phone.
turn it on if it's not.
It was not on. The first thing you see is 62 missed calls, voicemail box full, a number of text messages from someone named Roxana Goldfarb and Jim Augustino. Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you? Why aren't you at work?
Bosses.
And apparently a union rep. Yeah, these go back through Thursday and Friday. She didn't go to work either day.
Any messages or phone calls to a George or a Zach?
There are messages with her and George. The last thing is a message from her hey, it's Uncle George. Let's get breakfast. Cut out that he hates Uncle George. He wouldn't do that. Sal and Nora.
Go to bathroom, nightstand, that sort of thing to look for odd medications or vitamins.
Okay. You see a wireless computer mouse and its dongle on her nightstand table. No laptop or anything to go with it, but you see in the carpet where the wire's been laying. It's pretty normal. Otherwise, clean, but not I'm gonna die clean.
Did she pay her bills ahead of time? Look at her mail.
Yes. But she doesn't have paper. Oh, I would say she doesn't have paper ones because she's, a millennial and not.
Well, since you told me that, I'm assuming that you think there's a way that we would just look at her bank accounts.
Someone's checked her bank account.
Yeah.
Sal, what would you like to look around at?
I am not entirely sure.
All right, well, just give me a perception and alertness.
I would do alertness. That would be fine. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Nice. All right, walking through the house, you just, see if you stumble onto anything, which you sometimes, manage to pull off from time to time. You walk into what you assume is her little personal office. A secondary bedroom, smaller. It's okay. There's a lot of ribbons on the walls. There's a trophy case you walk by at one point. The office is nice. Her work laptop is there. It's there because there's a government sticker on it and a slot to put your government ID in, be able to access it. Standard kind of thing. And there's a huge gun safe, tall as a person, on the wall, standing in the corner against the wall, next to that big trophy case.
Interesting. Well, why don't we start by getting onto the laptop?
Okay, this is her work laptop.
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that she was fastidious about using it for work purposes only.
Give me a, I don't know, computer and, do you want to do, wits or arete? You know what?
Well,
You know what? Do all three. Computer, wits, and arete. Because you're going to need a little magic to hack this. I'm
Fair
not
enough.
saying that government systems are good. I just think it's cool.
They're not.
I think the entire city of Baltimore was ransomwared, and they didn't, and their backups were 3 years old.
I'm rather surprised that the Technocratic Union didn't like lay back doors into standard encryption systems already, so that we could just walk up and
Fun fact: they did. It's just you need to pay for the wonder or device in order to do that.
Slightly sonic computer card.
Yeah.
Against a difficulty 6, that's actually only 1 success.
You know what? I'll count it. So, like, you plug in with your cyborg universal connector cord or whatever you call it. You slot in. You start to hack, like a ASCII little skull and crossbones comes up, like in Independence Day.
It requests a password. The password is God.
It's God 420. You're in. There are a lot of emails from her boss asking, where the hell are you?
I'm sure that there are.
There's one today like, hey, a Balfour kid went missing. Isn't that the one you
So that's the first thing I was going to get to after a casual browsing history review is are there any files, correspondences, etc. based about Regina Balfour?
The only stuff you can find on here is from about 2 years ago. About like with the people that were actually texting her, on the phone, stuff about like disciplinary proceedings, a write-up that she had to acknowledge, the minutes from the meeting. Basically, if you want to read it, it's she did not appeal, simply quietly accepted the month's suspension without defending herself. It is the opinion of the union rep that since she had no marks against her at all, like nothing, not even like a stolen stapler, she would have been fired without question. She simply had to apologize to the family and refused to explain herself. Other than that, exemplary employee. And then a year before that, since you searched Balfour, you see an email from g.lewiston@gmail.com. The email simply reads, hey, Lindsay, I need to talk to you about a child, last name Balfour, in need of aid. Have you ever heard of the Church of the Parabolic Angel? It's going to be tough to believe. Let's do lunch, Uncle George.
Well, that saves the check of the cell phone for personal correspondence related to the Balfour child.
Yeah.
Of course, this rather large safe is of interest as well. However, I do believe we should schedule ourselves for a brunch at this preferred diner.
I mean, you already got the clue that would have been in the diner. The debit card.
Most of us do need sustenance at certain points of the day, however.
Okay. Well, why don't you all just meet up in the office to go through the hacking?
Well,
and then we'll take a break after this.
There is this very large gun safe to concern oneself with.
Is it still locked or is it open?
It's locked, and next to it's a very large glass trophy case.
Like trophies of shooting?
Yeah, actually. There's at least like 20, 25 actual trophies for trap shooting competitions, like national level.
Do they go back more than 3 years?
Oh, they go back like like junior high level. Like
Oh wow.
this kid, like she wins, um, a lot.
Okay.
Still does. There's
Yeah, we
pictures
need
on
to
the
know
wall
how
with
many.
her and her Uncle George with her and her shotgun. It's a
Yeah,
very nice shotgun.
we need to know how many guns she has with her. So we need to know how many guns are here and how many are not here. We should open that safe. What
I
was
don't want
that?
to. Yeah, I don't want to die in the next couple of days from a gunshot wound of all things.
In a metagaming sense, I will tell you that these trophies translate to at least a 5 in firearms.
At least the highest rating you can get. Okay.
If
Uh,
she were an elder vampire, she would probably be a 7 plus
Plus
dexterity.
dex. Yeah. No, that's why I want to know if all of the weapons are here or if
Mhm.
this gun closet is entirely empty. Because if it's entirely empty, we need to requisition body armor and stuff. If it's mostly full, maybe not.
and to that point, agent, doctor, agent, am I the most qualified safecracker in the room?
What skill do you want to use for safe cracking?
Well, unless somebody else has something better, I was going to use a forces 1 to listen to the. I'm assuming it's a combination lock.
Yes.
Like usually a large gun safe.
It's
is
a very
mechanical
large black
combination.
metal with like gold, not gold, but like brass, like inlay on it to make it look a little fancy. With a large like brass, like big turny bit and dial. Turny bit's a
Great.
technical term.
Turny bit. Love it. So I have enough forces to cover actually being able to listen to the clicking of the tumblers. And so I was going to go with a magic supports a mundane roll kind of approach, and I was going to propose for the mundane roll a dexterity and streetwise.
I'll allow it.
All right.
Difficulty, I will say, is 6 on the enlightenment roll.
Okay. I will.
Wait, if you're just listening, let's make it difficulty 4.
That would fit with the spheres.
Yeah. Sorry, I was like.
Okay. Regardless, I'm going to spend a point of willpower. I'm glad I spent that point of willpower because that's the only success I have after the ones.
You know what? That's enough. We're going to reduce the difficulty by how many dots do you have in forces?
2.
We're going to reduce the difficulty from 7 to 5.
Okay.
On the safe cracking.
And that is 2 successes, one of them a 10.
That's great. So click, 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 click. You like the machine that you are. You methodically go through this with your enhanced senses and abilities. I believe that actually does qualify you on your nature to get back a point of willpower. A thing in this game that I don't think anyone ever remembers to do.
The storyteller is so very generous. Yes, actually, it's rather unsettling to watch because my wrist actually actuates in 360 degrees and is constantly like splitting the dial into smaller and smaller increments as it goes around on this like brute force like.
I
surge.
love that. It's horrifying. And if I hadn't given you a point of willpower for the nature, I would have given you one for that. Point of willpower all around for everybody. Why not? I really liked it. I've been drinking Canard. Deal with it.
How much of that Canard have you had?
Most of the snake. This is glass number 2. Shh, leave me alone. Anyway, with a click and a spin of the wheel, you open the safe.
Oh.
There are slots for 6 shotguns. 3 are missing. of the remaining of the ones in there, they are very nice guns. Does anyone here have points in firearms?
Those.
2.
Okay, 2 and some Googling. These are very high-end shotguns. And based on the pictures, like on the walls and stuff, like, all right, that one's here, this one's there.
What's
yeah,
missing?
Yeah. One of them is, you don't know why she used this in a competition, but she had a SPAS 12 French combat shotgun, aka Muldoon's shotgun from Jurassic Park. Apparently that might have been a gift from her uncle because he likes that movie, or maybe because I thought it was cool. The other 2 are more standard under-overs, Italian, very nice, hand engraved everything. They're nice.
Shells.
Does she store the ammunition with the weapons?
No.
Is that legal?
It's not legal to do, but a lot of gun owners do it anyway.
I didn't know. What
I
the
don't think there's
actual
laws
law
on it. In Ohio.
It depends. It is very poor practice to do either way.
In
but
Ohio, sure.
But that doesn't mean that it's very poor practice in general. But that doesn't mean that people don't do it all the time.
Listen, not every state is like New Jersey, okay?
But that said, I mean, does she have any ammunition in the house?
Like if she did, it would mostly be target rounds, like birdshot, which is not what you would use for anything other than like chasing off a home intruder or taking out a squirrel. A lot of small pellets, but it's not like you need to show ID to buy shotgun shells at any gun store.
Well,
or
Right, there's no like box of dragon breath rounds or
That
salt
was exactly
rounds.
where I was headed.
No.
what? Since we already have looked at her financial records, can I do a quick search to see if there's any recent receipts from gun shops, sporting goods stores that would sell gun materials?
There are none. But with that, we're going to take our break. We'll be back in 5-10 minutes or so. Thank you for watching so far. And we'll see you in a bit. All right. Hi, I lied. That was much longer than 5 to 10 minutes. I hope you're still here. Let's resume where we left off with our team just finding out that their wanted fugitive is a one of the greatest firearms experts in the world.
Yeah.
And has her guns, her favorite guns with her.
3 of them. Not all of them.
Does she really need that many more to deal with the 4 of you?
Not if she has the high ground.
I do believe we may have exhausted our options here.
Her house may yield no more at the moment.
And with that, Agent Smith, your cell phone buzzes from the intern.
What you got for me?
Hey! Ah! You know, his crackly voice. I went through all the went through highway footage following that rental car. I found where it got off the turnpike.
Which exit? Where is it at?
Let me see here. The first exit over the state border between Ohio and Pennsylvania, apparently. Huh. Let's say 6 after that, just for time's sake.
I'm sorry,
not
where
that-
did you say it got off?
The
in
6th exit after the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Oh yeah.
Going into Pennsylvania.
Yes. I also called the what do they call them? The Department of Transit or whatever the hell Pennsylvanians call it. I got a hold of the toll booth worker that was there. Showed him a picture of a little girl, and he recognized her. Said she was coughing, and I don't know, she seemed like sick, and she kept like screaming. I just thought it was a kid not wanting to be in a car, you know. That's what he said. Anyway, the kid was like having an asthma attack or something in the back seat.
How long ago was this?
And the woman driving looked like she was crying and upset. Probably around 10 p.m. yesterday.
10 p.m. last night. And this was the toll getting off the interstate.
Yep.
All right. I think we know where we're driving to. That's Agent Smith's plan anyway.
Agreed. We need to get there and fast. And at this point, since we know the exit they got off at, what time is it now?
It's, let's say 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Let's say 11 a.m.
So 13 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
If we can communicate with local authorities to see if there's been any break-ins in pharmacies, hospitals, or veterinary clinics where the medication is available. If Regina's going into physical distress,
They might attempt a remedy.
a break-in.
Yeah.
So that would at least give us one, information that they have the medication, which would be ideal, but also maybe a location.
Okay. Sure. You do some research. Give me investigation and let's say wits.
That
Anyone
seems
who wants to
reasonable.
roll it. Difficulty is 7.
3 successes?
3 successes.
2 successes.
Awesome. So you find yourself soon on the phone with the Peter County Sheriff's Department, just outside of Pittsburgh. Yeah, yeah, we got a report this morning about a break-in at a veterinary clinic. Seemed to have happened overnight.
Do you know what was taken?
Let me bring it up here. Yeah, yeah, the strangest thing. Our guys were saying all like the pain meds were left, but all they took were like steroids and IV equipment.
Thank you. Can you give me the address of that vet clinic?
And can you hold a perimeter? No one is to go in or out, including your own people.
What if people have already done that?
Then stop doing it more.
What about the animals that need treatment?
Sir, this has something to do with the potential location of Regina Balfour.
All right, lock it down! I don't care how many dogs die. You got it, officer.
Please keep the exact reason for our interest to a minimum. But this is of huge importance, and we will be there shortly.
All right.
Oh, can you give us information on any hotels local to the area?
Yeah, there's a few.
Please send any information you may have to blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Or you could Google it.
Ben.
Listen, he's securing a perimeter now.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. She'll Google it.
Yeah, there's a fair number of hotels, Holiday Inns, residencies, courtyards, Marriott Suites, motels, motor lodges, Airbnbs, bed and breakfasts.
Thank you. I'll let you get on with that perimeter. And she sort of looks between the other agents in a sort of like, is there anything else?
Yeah, have your vehicles on the lookout. Put out an APB quietly for the license plate of the car that we are tracking.
Well,
If you encounter the vehicle, please notify us immediately. You may follow discreetly, but do not engage.
What kind of car is it?
4-door sedan type, I believe.
Silver Chevy Impala.
Thank you.
There you go, silver Chevy Impala.
Okay. You got it.
Please be advised, the adult with Regina is well trained in firearm use, and we believe she is armed.
Armed and dangerous. Shoot on sight. Okay.
Do not engage.
Do not engage.
Okay.
Do not engage. Repeat after me. Do not engage.
Do not engage.
Thank you. I would hate for you or any of your staff to be harmed during this investigation.
Oh, that's professional courtesy, man. All right, I gotta go now and set up that cord like you asked for. And like as he's hanging, putting the phone down here, we got a live one.
This might be the most
Uh,
exciting thing to happen in their county in a while.
Local law enforcement can be very incompetent, though.
What was the name of that county again?
Peter County.
Peter,
Thank you.
It is, from what I remember, mostly rural.
Nearest city would be Pittsburgh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, just south. Looks like of Pittsburgh.
Indeed, and with only one highway going through it, which is actually why I was getting it.
The only reason I know this county exists is because a guy I used to play Counter-Strike with back in 2004 lived there.
okay. I guess we get in a car and put on lights or something and speed.
Hell yeah, no drive rules required.
Yep, hit 100, just cruising.
You get there in record time. You arrive outside this veterinary hospital or clinic, what have you. Caring Paws Veterinary Clinic. It's got little paw prints on it. And there are maybe about five sheriff's deputies there, and a number of local cops. People are armed to the teeth. They got their bulletproof vests on over top of their shirts, and there is a local news van there. The reporters like talking at the camera with like the cops and everyone behind them.
Do you want to do something about that, Mr. Talkie Lawyer Man?
They might not respond the way we want them to if the person who did the press conference on Regina is mentioned or is present. I feel like actually this is one instance where I'm going to delegate to the local PD despite worrying about their competence. Why are they here? I'll ask the locals.
Somebody saw all the cops here, and they came asking why.
Yeah, you're going to need to keep a lower profile right now. And mum is the word. No comment at all. Understood?
Can you give me a charisma and stealth check?
I can, but I think it's going to be one die. No, it'll be 2. Do I add my cloaking?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, then I have
Don't you have like a
dice.
4 in cloaking?
I do. That's why I was asking.
You fuck. So I need like a 9 on this roll.
Difficulty or the number of successes?
Difficulty.
Okay. Oh, you need a 9 or I need a 9?
I need a 9.
Okay,
You're
cool.
rolling
My
stealth.
stealth check.
I'm rolling a perception test for the news crew.
Mm-hmm. So I got 4 successes on my stealth plus cloaking plus charisma.
So I rolled a single 10, but then I rolled a 1, which cancels out the 10. So they don't notice you.
Man.
What?
Okay. I'm just another generic guy in a suit.
Bullshit. It's such bullshit.
Glasses. It's like a high-res vest. You can just walk in anywhere.
That's right. All right. Well, you told us to lock it down, and whatever. All right.
Yeah, but no one's about to attack it. It was to keep people out. This place isn't under assault.
You may go inside. The manager is inside waiting for you, and the head vet is very upset.
well, let's go in.
On the way in, Nora just takes a moment to thank the officer for their assistance and their excellent work. We need them to keep cooperating with us.
Uh-huh.
Ma'am. I know it's Pennsylvania and they don't wear those hats, but I just like wearing hats
It's a
they
good
do.
hat. It's a nice prop.
to differentiate between NPCs.
As we enter, I want to ask Krychek to
So
turn on.
A window was smashed, and there was like, one of like the doors, like the glass windows inside of it. That window was smashed, and like plywood has been put up over it already.
Sure, break in.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask Krychek just to
Sal,
turn on any.
Sal, you notice there are those little black dome security cameras outside.
Mm.
But yes, he will look around.
No, specifically with dimensional science.
Oh, I know.
Just to see if there's. Okay. Well, I just wanted to make that clear. Any people who didn't hear that.
All right. There is a woman in a white coat and a woman like a button-down shirt, like a blouse, slacks, flats, hair in a messy bun.
Yeah, and actually, before we enter, you said the door had internal windows. One of them had been smashed, and it was glass.
Large
so,
enough for a person to squeeze through, yes.
Yep. Which is to say, Sal is quite curious if there's any straight blood or skin or something that's been left behind on those on that broken window.
I'm not going to make you roll because this is literally your thing. Anyone else would have missed it. Anyone that wasn't half machine would have missed the tiniest little drop on a piece of glass.
The tiniest pipette.
In the bag.
And then standing up and dusting off. Very well. We may proceed.
So, is someone going to explain to us what's going on? Says the vet.
Our apologies for interrupting your important work. There is an active investigation, and we believe the criminal came here. We
Into
need to
a
review.
junkie break-in?
We need to review your footage. You have cameras, right?
Yeah.
Have you reviewed the footage? Is the can we see the footage?
Sure. There's 2 cameras here. It's around like 3 a.m. One of the cameras shows a better view of the parking lot, and a woman approaches on foot with like a jacket over top her head. And with the cameras, you piece together. She like walks up to the door, hits it with a tire iron, and crawls inside. And then maybe about 20 minutes later, she crawls out with like a couple of boxes tucked under an arm. She was wearing gloves in the thing, and then she walks away.
And you say all the pain medicine is still here? This doesn't sound like a junkie break-in.
Junkies aren't the brightest bunch.
They know what drugs they want, though. That's their obsession.
Sometimes, yeah, but
Doctor, I'm sure that you secure your controlled substances in a separate locker at the end of your business day as a standard practice in a veterinary clinic.
that's right.
Was the controlled substances locker broken?
No,
Don't junkies know what they're looking for?
I don't know the mind of a junkie.
And you will never understand with all your books and degrees. Alice in Chains joke had to.
I was gonna say she just feels like she should feel insulted. And the manager comes up. Is there anything else we can do for you, officers?
What was
Detectives?
in fact taken?
Some cortical steroids.
Can you give me the names of those medications, please? The
Yeah,
exact ones that were taken.
It's
And their
this.
format.
Here's a box. I have a box in the trash here.
I'm assuming that they fit the profile of what Regina needs.
So it's not the same brand, but like the ingredients are very similar. If you were to do a chemical analysis, it's like the dog version of the human drug. Oh, and some IV stuff.
Okay.
So it was an infusion kit then.
A few of them, actually.
Okay.
She wants information on how much was taken, and then she thanks them and apologizes for the interruption, but lets them know that this is an active crime scene that may be related to a kidnapping.
Okay. A lot.
Oh,
What?
are there any cameras inside the facility?
No.
Are there any animal cages that would be looking at the place where the drugs were stolen from?
I really like this idea, so yes.
So,
There's a mangy cat. Big
big
old
Agent
chunker.
Smith is gonna. Well, give me some cat treats, would you?
Oh no,
you're gonna get more
one's
cat
pre-diabetic. Don't give him treats.
Trust me, I can make this healthy for him.
I don't like the sound of that. They say.
Have faith. My friend here and fellow FBI agent is a doctor. You agree that this one cat treat, as a treat, a little salami, it'll be okay.
I have questions as to what the FBI cares about Mr. JT the cat.
Why don't you come with me and tell me a little bit about anything else while
Anything else?
while this agent does presumably pets this cat.
You know this is even more suspicious than it was before, right?
I can't help that. I really can't.
I don't want to let you near that cat without a warrant now.
Wait, are you the doctor's boss? Right, you said there was a manager and a doctor, right? Or a vet?
She's the business manager. I am the veterinarian.
Okay, joint ownership. Fine. You don't want to let me near the cat, you don't have to. I think
if
this
Rosie,
cat will...
if someone had a convincing lie other than talk to me about anything else.
Yeah, so I'm a perfect liar. That's one of the merits I have. Rosie, it's a little embarrassing, but you can go ahead and tell her about that thing I asked you about. Just let her just come up with something out of the room.
So, oh god, Rosie has zero ideas.
Smith would have given you a litany of NWO lies, ready to go when you need them. And
oh my
one of
god,
them
no one
would
can
be,
come up with a reasonable lie, can you?
I have a sixth toe. And you've heard about cats and dogs that have been born with this sixth toe. And I really don't like talking about it. But it's a standard lie that
mean,
will
I
keep
was gonna
someone
go-
engaged.
Why is
It
that
will
a
keep
standard
someone-
lie?
No.
Because
Okay, I
because
got
we'll
it.
keep someone engaged in the conversation because of how strange it is, and their human curiosity will take over, and they'll go, "Wait, what?"
I was thinking of doing something a little more believable, like
It has to
government-
be after let's talk about literally anything.
And no, but what she's going to do then is look at them and go, this is a little embarrassing, and we don't talk about it a whole lot, but we are experimenting with telepathy, specifically in animals. This particular agent has a little bit of training in that field, and he wants to mentally commune with this cat that had a view. As I said, this is not something we like to talk about because it sounds like something out of a science fiction.
They both just stare at you. And I want you to roll charisma and subterfuge difficulty 8.
Jesus.
I swear Sal is this close to just going, danger, danger, emit knockout gas.
Not a great roll for me. And what was the diff?
8.
So that's one success.
Okay, but we're gonna watch.
Fine, and you will understand why I don't want you to do this, because I'm about to commit a felony. I take out $100 bill and I light it on fire. It's against the law to burn money.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Well, so that is what Abe is using, a focus of money. And so
Okay.
he's showing them him committing a federal offense of burning money. He doesn't want anyone to see that. That's why they had to leave. But that's his focus, to telepathically communicate with the cat and see if the cat saw the person who was stealing the drugs.
Okay, give me difficulty 6 enlightenment roll.
Okay. And I'm going to spend a point of willpower because I really like this. 3 successes.
Oh my fucking god. So
Dr. Doolittle.
early in the morning, this cat was rudely awoken from its sleep by a loud noise. Soon after, a human came in and started rummaging through cabinets and things. It let slip its the coat over its head, and the cat saw that she had long hair and smelled good.
Was her hair this color?
Yes.
Whatever
Yes,
color.
that's Lindsay.
Okay. She seemed to know what she was doing, or did she look around a lot?
She was looking around because she hadn't been in this place before.
Okay.
Or so it seemed.
Did you hear her say anything?
Muttering, "Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yes." And just like
Okay.
got like a trash bag and started putting like IV stuff in it, and then the cat went back to sleep halfway through.
Thank you.
Oh
for
wait,
being
then it started licking its own butt.
That was what happened last time I tried to mental telepathy.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Rosie told me to do it in the Twitch chat. What? Outside, you just see. Why is he sticking his tongue out now?
It's a very immersive process.
The burnt money has a flavor. It's very small, but the tongue helps pick up some of the burnt money flavor.
And the cat's just staring straight at you now.
Good kitty. And that's, I just wanted to confirm, like, make absolutely sure
Mm-hmm.
she didn't have an accomplice doing this. Because there's always the possibility she's got help.
Are any of those hotels located near her? Because you said she approached on foot.
So funny you say that. Uh, when you walk outside, I want everyone to make a wits, perception, and alertness check.
What's the diff?
6.
Dose.
1,
Three?
2, 3,
4. Okay. Um. So right across the street, in fact, in the direction that she walked from and to, you see the Five Oaks Motel. And 3, you hear what seem to be cicadas. You think on all the trees nearby.
Uh,
Oh dear.
With
Is the
4
camera
suc-
crew still there?
Oh yeah, and 4 successes, you see a silver Chevy Impala in that parking lot. And with 2 successes, you hear over your bug, what? They're coming out of a vet clinic. What?
Oh boy.
Well, don't let them know you're there.
Specify that is the bug the Balfours have?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh. Can I correspondence GPS check where my bug is?
Yeah. That doesn't need a roll because computers.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
But what I overheard was don't let him know you're there.
Yes, that you are there.
Uh
As if he was talking to someone on a phone.
got right, and that's okay. That the Balfour bug is him. Okay, yes.
So the Balfours may be in communication with Lindsay? Or somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility.
And
I was just gonna say we should totally have tapped his phone line.
has Krychek noticed anything? He's been looking around the whole time.
Yeah, that is especially with the locusts upon us.
Yeah, he's staring in the direction of the Five Oaks Motel, but above, just mouth slightly agape. You know, with his special glasses on.
Agent
Want to share,
Krychek,
Care Bear?
Yeah, I think she's there.
Why?
I think I found the locusts.
Well,
To
I can
explain.
see those too, but that's not where you're staring.
Agent Krychek, please explain yourself.
Oh, it's like a tornado of locusts.
Not on this side.
That's right. There's a shit ton of them.
Can you thicken that?
I don't know if he can. He only has 2 dots in dimensional science, so I actually don't know if he can.
I believe that's a Spirit 2 ability, but obviously storyteller.
I don't have the mage book open because I haven't needed the mage book.
That's fair.
I'm not rolling for mages, right?
So while he thinks about that, we've definitely found our place, right? And
Yes.
I think we do now need to get rid of the camera crew.
Yeah. Do we give them a false lead? Or just tell them to get the fuck off because FBI? Which will...
Maybe backfire, right? If
Yeah.
you're a journalist and you want a story, that might be all of a sudden, wait, the FBI are shutting us down?
Yeah.
There's the Streisand effect to concern ourselves with. So perhaps we actually do tell them and we say we found nothing.
We could give them a red herring. We could say that there's a ketamine ring in town. Veterinary clinics are known for being rated for their ketamine.
Okay, Spirit 2 is touch spirit and manipulate gauntlet. Each success on the roll would increase or decrease it by 1. So if one of you would like to make me a difficulty 5 arete roll with 3 dice.
Perhaps the dice smith should do it.
Okay. You said 3 die?
Yep. Difficulty is
Difficulty.
5.
Well, I got a 10, a 9, and a 7.
Okay, that's 4 successes. So it goes up by 4, and he relays that the swarm on the other side looks even madder.
Well, as long as they stay over there, they can be as mad as they like.
Mm-hmm. The ones on this side just start more loudlier, chattering.
So, how do we get rid of this news crew?
I mean, is the news crew looking at us or following us or attempting to interact with us in any way?
They're just like hanging out at this point. They're not like broadcasting or anything. It's not a big town.
Okay. We could tell the local cops that it's not. It doesn't look to be the investigation we are looking into. It seems to be a more local issue. Potentially, I like Sal's suggestion, the ketamine. And then if someone leaks that to the press, it's not our problem. But at this point, what else do we...
I mean, we could also just tell them that we've actually solved it. They called us in because they thought it was related to something else. It's actually some non-story. It was a co-worker of somebody, or no, a family member of somebody who worked there. They thought they were going to be pulling a prank, something non-interesting.
That works.
Yeah, I think that Abe is willing to go up and just sort of like, hey, you guys were covering this story, right? Sorry it was such a dud. Total bullshit. They thought it was something. They love to dress up, don't they? They just want to get in their gear every chance they got. But, at least it's a little excitement out here. Hope you enjoy your night and get a very good night's rest. Wait, is it nighttime or is it daytime?
It's like noon.
Enjoy your lunches.
So you go over and do that?
Yes. And when the emphasis on enjoy your lunches, I'm going to do, well, you tell me if I get to that point.
Before that, officer, Carol Struthers, NBC 16, Pittsburgh, could you give us any update on the Balfour case?
This wasn't a lead on that.
Oh, they have you on.
No.
They have you on more than just the high-profile investigation of a missing girl?
The FBI works many cases at once, and we are always investigating potential crimes and prosecuting them when we discover them. We interface with local law enforcement all the time.
So you want me to believe that you were just in the area, being good Samaritans?
While this is going on, the annoying sound of the locusts has actually become a subject of obsession for me. and I have wandered off to go find one of them, completely without notifying anyone that I am doing so.
All right. You walk across one of those, those like not 2 lane, but like 4 lane streets that, connect strip malls and mini malls all across our great nation, and have just destroyed our small towns. Your Red Lobsters, your Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware is pretty cool, isn't it?
Home Depot?
Yeah, Home Depot sucks, right? Your beer distributors because it's Pennsylvania. Your adult bookstores because it's right off the highway.
Fireworks.
Fireworks stores because we're just over the border. Yeah. And way too many Penn State signs.
I can still hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Locusts don't make cicada noises. Where is this?
So, give me an investigation or
Sure.
alertness and perception, whichever is better for you. Difficulty is 6.
5. And my alertness and investigation are the same, so it really doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 10 for 6, 7.
So with that, I'm just gonna say you find one inside an open water bottle that's empty, other than it, and the cap is nearby. You can just catch it in there because it looks like a big fat locust.
I guess meanwhile, back at the news van.
So I would hope that Krychek and Abe have discussed on the drive certain subtle cues they could give each other. And does Krychek have the ability to like short circuit technology, aka Forces 2?
Let me check. He has Forces 3.
So yeah, if I needed him to short circuit the camera,
emanate a quick EMP, directed,
just localized on the
tight
camera,
beam.
and yeah, the camera just stops working.
Difficulty 6. Roll 3 dice.
All right, 6, 2, and 6.
Cool. Yeah, it's just like, wow, that was weird. Also, I want to make you take a point of paradox for the telepathy with the cat earlier in front of the witnesses.
Yeah, no, okay, that was definitely vulgar. Yeah, okay, there were witnesses.
And because it's Mage 20, you only get 1. Be a god whenever you want.
So while that's going on, I would like my character to have stepped away, to some range of privacy, and called the Five Oaks Hotel to speak to someone at the front desk.
Five Oaks Hotel.
Hello.
Did I say hotel or motel?
I am Agent Goodman with the FBI. And I was wondering if you had someone check in. Last night or early this morning, a woman describes Lindsay with a young girl describes Regina.
Listen, I'm not really allowed to talk about our guests.
So they are guests. Thank you.
I never said that.
And she hangs up.
He very much gave you a non-answer.
That's fine. She's already pre-confident that they're there. She was hoping that they would be helpful and that she would be able to get a room number, but she's not great at doing that sort of thing over a phone. If she was there in person, she could do something. Over a phone, not happening.
Okay.
So at this point, she's sort of waiting impatiently for her fellow agents so they can walk across the parking lot and see what they can do.
Is Sal back with us?
Sure.
Or is Sal
Sure.
okay?
If Sal wants to be.
Or is Sal still investigating?
No,
the-
Sal has returned, and from the seemingly endless breast pocket produces a crumpled up water bottle with an insect inside it.
Do you want me to talk to that too?
The possibility had not even registered.
Nah, they're pretty strange creatures, so maybe it's not worth it.
I had thought this perhaps the provenance of Dr. Goodman and Agent Krychek.
That's also a great idea.
Maybe later. The likelihood is that they're in that hotel, right?
All signs
Is
point
the
to yes.
likely conclusion.
There is no reason to believe otherwise. And what floor, Krychek, is that locust swarm amassing on?
Well, there's 2 stories, and I can't tell.
Oh, I assumed a hotel was taller.
It's a motel. It's one of those, like,
Okay.
you know, the ones you always see on, like, America's Most Wanted. There's the 2 stories.
Oh, yeah.
Like the vending machines on the first floor, and then, like, the ice
Occasional
machines.
staircases.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. She says, I tried calling the front desk of the motel. I'm not great at that. So someone else can try talking to them to get a room number, or we can watch.
So this also may be a point at which we might want to prepare ourselves to confront someone with a shotgun who's very good at using a shotgun.
Fair.
Officer, we need to commandeer a couple of your vests.
You should have some in the back of your car.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah.
Just checking.
And I do have matter 3. Utilizing a chemical formula, I would like to do something to prepare ourselves in some manner. Maybe further harden the vests.
You want to Edna mode it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So give me. So you want to like make them sturdier, but while being flexible and breathe like Egyptian cotton.
Yes, but no capes.
No capes, of course not. Capes would be weird in this situation. So here's what I want you to do. You're gonna make a enlightenment check, right? Difficulty is going to be 6. You need a minimum of 1 success per jacket you want to modify.
All right, I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Every success after that, that will increase the armor by 1. Every success after that increases the armor rating by another 1 for all of them.
Okay, so I have 3 enlightenment. I'm rolling 3 dice. I've spent a willpower, so I have at least 1 success.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the difficulty?
6.
That's another 2 successes, so 3 total.
Okay, that's enough to move 3 of them up by 1.
Can I make it an extended roll?
You can. Take a point of paradox right now.
Yes, sir.
Because it's
Worth
1
it.
point of paradox for every time you roll this now.
It's 2 10s.
Hey, that's 4 successes. And another point of paradox.
Yeah, I know. But it's better to do it this way than to get paradox keeping people alive.
So you're up to 5 successes?
Yes.
Okay, that will raise all the jackets by 2. Are you comfortable with that?
Um,
I believe flak jackets are at 3 normally. And since you are humans, you don't really soak guns.
I'm going to do 1 more.
Okay. So take that 3rd point of paradox.
That's another 2 successes.
So that puts you at 7. So that will increase each jacket by 4.
She looks a little tired, a little frazzled. She's run out of pretty much all of that compound. But she is a little more comfortable with these flak jackets.
Oh, baby.
Theodore.
Oh.
I have a story to tell you about that cat's flatulence later.
So while
There are about 6 cars in the parking lot, other than the Impala.
Oh, I apologize. The other form of preparation that she might be helpful with, since she has 3 dots in life, could I give them, my fellow agents, some kind of stimulant to make them more dexterous or fast or something like that?
So I believe the rules for modifying your stats requires life 3. To modify another person, it's 1 higher than that.
So I'm probably not going to succeed at that.
Do you have life 4?
I have life 3.
Then you cannot modify them.
All right.
also maybe we can talk to her. It's a crazy thought, but there's a chance.
I might suggest disabling the vehicle before attempting any engagement.
Good idea.
Yeah, someone's got to have a switchblade which we can stab the tires with. Quick and simple. A boot's a possibility, but that takes too long. Draws attention.
I mean, the guys across the street, the guys outside the vet will have one.
I think
Please.
a walking android toolbox can probably come up with something sharp on its.
You also
on
just like
its
stab it.
Yeah. But while Nora is saving our future lives, I think it would be good for Abe to go in and talk to the staff.
Yeah, the office is right there. There's a guy behind the counter.
Are you the owner here?
Kinda. I'm like the what do you call it? The yeah, I guess you could. I'm like the manager. Yeah.
Current person in charge.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's my name, and I put down an FBI badge.
Oh, that was a real phone call.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to answer our questions. It's very important. Did you see any guests?
Okay, first
that
of all,
match
my
that
name
description?
is Mr. Lang. And as far as I know, there are no warrants out for my arrest.
Mr. Lang.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you see a little girl pop up from behind saying, "Who's that, Dad?" She's like playing with a ball behind the desk.
Don't
It
worry
is not
about
Regina.
it. Okay, yeah. I'll even just be. Don't worry about it. Enjoy your toys.
Okay.
So, did you have anyone check in who matched the description my fellow agent called about?
Listen, I cannot give up guest information without a warrant. Do you know what would happen around this place? Would go out of business if certain clientele found out about that.
You think the FBI is here about a prostitution ring? Couldn't care less. You think we're here about drugs? Not my deal. I'm here to save a life. If you think that's not important enough, and I'll trail.
Give me a. Do you have intimidation?
A little bit? Yeah.
Give me intimidation and manipulation. Yeah, or charisma if charisma's better. Difficulty 4.
Manipulation is the way that this particular fellow went. 2 zeros, a 6, and a 4, and an 8. So 4,
You know
5,
this. You know this succeeds.
7.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Checked in with a prepaid card. Gave me, She gave me the money, said, keep it. I need the room for a week. The room don't cost that much for a week. Room don't cost that much for 2 weeks. Room 23.
Let me guess. She gave you two $1,000 gift cards.
No, $500.
Still pretty good.
This is not a. I want to be like this clear. This is not a good motel.
You may keep the cash.
Oh, good. Yes, thank you.
I need a spare key to room.
Will you buy me toys like the little girl had?
I take out 100 silently and just slide it across the table.
All right, because you have all those points and resources.
Yeah, I dumped a few points in so I could be like, no, when I have to, yeah, throw money at the cause. Sometimes it works.
Yeah, the little girl was here with her. She had a rainbow dash.
Is that a toy?
It's a pony.
It's a pony.
My Little Pony. It's one of the characters. He says.
Way over my head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I need a spare key to room 23.
Just takes it.
Yeah. And yes, all I need from you now is say nothing to anybody.
Can I call my insurance at least?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
How many is anyone in room 22 or 24 or whatever rooms are next to room 23?
Let's go with 22 and 24. No.
All right, I need keys to room 22 and 24 as well.
Sure.
Just to be on the safe side. And yeah, I think I'm good with this scene. Unless anybody wants me to ask something, we can powwow it.
Don't powwow for very long. We got maybe 10 minutes left.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. The only other thing we might suggest, he's not gonna leave the motel. Rosie would be more comfortable if the child was not present, but I doubt there's any way we can get them to just leave. Can anyone else think of anything we might want to do to prepare our characters for a firefight with a shooting specialist with a shotgun?
I suppose
And
I
this
could
is
use...
not one of those motels that has doors between the two rooms, because no one in their right mind would do that here.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I asked for both of the rooms.
Yes.
So there should only be a door to one of them at most.
Well, there's none. Just
Okay.
Well,
in and
my
out.
thought. So, we can always go through a wall.
Yes, everything is a door if you're the Kool-Aid man.
Or if you have Matter 3.
Or if you have Matter 3. We could also camp out and wait for her to eventually leave. Where is she going to go? I don't think they're going to stay in there forever, right? We could do a stakeout. And she's going to leave eventually, right? She's got to go get food. Or if there's a delivery person going to deliver food, we stop them. And we go deliver the food.
They are stocked up on prepared meals.
Yeah, okay.
They are stocked up in prepared meals, and I'm assuming the room has a window. Does the window face the vet clinic?
So the window does indeed face the road you crossed, and the blinds are drawn.
Yeah, of course.
They might have seen what was going on at the vet clinic. They might be expecting a visit.
Oh, shit. That conversation what's-his-face had. Balfour. Don't let him know you're there. That could have been... Okay, they're still not gonna...
Also, Sal, with your
Yeah, we should
robot brain, you remember one of the things that stood out on George's purchase list? A police scanner.
Indeed.
She will be waiting.
Yep.
We can't
Yep.
take it
And a
out.
lot of energy drinks.
Yep. So yeah, the side rooms could work. Is there a back window to the bathroom that they have to like let air and steam out? Is there even like a tiny little thing that?
There is a very small bathroom window. But yeah, it doesn't really open that much. It's basically just to like vent the room. Like, Regina could not fit through that if you opened it.
All right. I was thinking a small child can fit through things adults can't. I was going to say we could tear gas, but no, child. Knockout gas, same problem.
Especially not a small child with a
I mean,
immuno.
we could also now play the misinformation game. Make sure that the police scanner specifically has chatter of, all right, boys, pack it in. Nothing's going on here.
We can try that.
Or we can breach the walls. Since you did prepare our flak jackets, that doesn't seem crazy to me.
Do we have any weaponry or any way to actually neutralize her?
I mean, you all should have at least a firearm, right?
Yes.
I assume some of you may have a pocket knife or something. One of those collapsible baton things.
Yeah, so it's worth going over. Sal is equipped in the way that you might expect a beat cop to be, with a taser, a 9.
Did we just lose?
It did freeze up for a moment for me.
A taser, a 9.
I'm here. Are you?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So a taser, a 9, and a collapsible baton. That's basically like the standard beat cop / detective issue. Although if there's anything else in the car or on requisition, that's another thing. Sal would note that breaching walls and going in blind when there's a human asset to be recovered is not a well-indicated plan at all.
I believe, but perhaps I am mistaken, that with a utilization of life science and data or correspondence, one could more or less try and locate the younger life form in a room between two.
Or at least the smaller one.
Yes, there are a number of variables that could work. I think age is good, but so is size.
Size is also, yes, size is good.
And so with correspondence plus life, if I'm in room 22, I could tell you, I think, with a little work, if Regina is in the front of the room, in the bathroom, under the bed, with some degree of certainty.
If the three of you work together on it, you'd even be able to see where the shotguns were. If there was ammo, if there was anything else in the room, maybe crude explosive devices, which, being trained agents, you would probably think to look for.
Do we see anything in the car? Just like when Sal was poking tires, or us was poking tires?
You get like rest stop, like gas station, like
no
bags of
shotguns
trash.
or shells.
No. And a quick look at the security cameras outside this motel. They're fake.
Of course. Cheaper.
Or they're real, but they're not actually hooked up to anything.
Do we want to check the trunk of her car? Because if the shotguns aren't in the trunk, I don't think there's a lot of other places she'll have them.
Might as well.
Trunk's empty.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she seemed like a responsible gun owner, so I would have been shocked if she left them in the car.
Could have been a locked case. When I take, long guns to the range, it's a locked case that I unlock and lock in the trunk. But regardless, says Abe. I think we can do a 2 or 3 point entry if we do front door and 22, 24.
If there is a child-sized window around back, we do.
The child cannot fit through the window.
Yeah, it's too small. Although someone with matter could make it
Actually,
larger.
do you go back and check it?
I mean, outside the building. Yeah.
So the ones next to it, you can kind of see like a darkened room. It's daytime, so some of the ambient light gets in. It's a shitty little tile bathroom, but you can't actually see into this one. It's like she's barricaded that window. Those of you with matter with sheet metal.
Oh, no sniper shots through there.
In
I
fact,
guess.
give me perception and occult. Or is Tyler's character the only one that has occult?
I have one in occult.
I have two in occult.
What is the difficulty?
Difficulty would be 7.
That's 2 successes.
4 ones.
Jesus.
Oh, you poor bastard.
4 ones.
Hey, it's a good thing.
Giant paradox right here.
It's a good thing it wasn't like
an important, individual magic
It wasn't
roll.
you trying to talk her from not shooting you. Or leap through the window, all heroic like.
So I got double 10s.
Oh, that's 4 then. So the two of you see along the edges of that sheet metal these tiny little devices, almost impossibly small, very intricate looking, placed in certain patterns around, like a certain pattern around the metal itself. That's technocracy tech used to prevent surveillance. It seems maybe Uncle George may have gone in once or twice, or been used on a raid that was not in the books. And with that, I am going to end the session there. Thank you so much for participating in part 2. Rosie is going on a trip the next week. And so we won't be playing next week, but maybe the week after we can do it.
Well, I mean, you could do it without me.
I don't think they want to go in without their life mage.
It's fair.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that for something where it is potentially combat-ish, everyone should have their own character's fate in their hands.
You could also wrap up the whole thing next time too.
That's fair. As long as you guys are fine waiting the week, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, players, would you like to plug your stuff, where they can find you, what you're doing, charities you like, whether or not you hate Jameson Stone? Fuck them.
I'll go first. I'm Rosie, regular size mom. You can find me on Twitter at mom_size or as Odd Duck Dice on all the social medias because I like to make dice. They're pretty. I'm planning on opening my shop at the end of July. You can find my dice in giveaways on a couple of channels to support different Pride fundraisers. I will be giving away two commission sets with Vorpal Tales during their Delta Green Pride fundraiser. Both myself and Ben will be running games, and there will be several other fantastic GMs. There will be a different Delta Green game every day that week. supporting Pride. And like I said, 2 commissioned dice sets will be raffled off that week, meaning you and I will work one-on-one to design a dice set that you want. I'll make it for you, and hopefully you'll be happy. I will
Mine's
also
a
be
jewel
doing,
heist.
and I believe I will be doing the same with Martlet Games and potentially one other channel. So keep an eye out for the opportunity to win a commission set of dice from me. And you can find me on Vorpal Tales on, well, not this week because we're going to be mooting. And then the next week will be the fundraiser. But generally, you can find me there on Thursdays and Sundays, having fun with things.
Awesome. Let's go with Rhett, our lovely cyborg.
I am Rhett, and I am on Twitter at Road River Rail. And also, if you like World of Darkness shit posting, I run the Technocratic Union's shit posting account. That's at Tech Union Actual. Lots of fun being had over there. Not too much to plug. I will say that if you like characters like Sal Wangi or my magical pro wrestler Max Mercury, I am available for your stream and looking to have fun with you too.
And last but not least.
Well, thank you. So you can find me at House Tremere on Twitter. I have a lot of fun just being strange online and meeting other people who have like-minded ideas. I don't really have much to plug. This is my first stream, so thank you for having me. It's been a blast. Check out Mage the Ascension. It's an awesome game, and be excellent to each other.
Nice. Very well put. And I'm Ben, Big Dad. I'm running games next week on Vorpal Tales, or a game on Vorpal Tales next week. I'm also playing in a bunch. But I'm just going to talk about my game because it's Orpheus and it's the best. My players know nothing, it seems, about Orpheus. They were just rounded up because they were available. Shout out to Tyler for rounding them up. Shout out to my players for the weird nonsense they're going to have to do in Orpheus, which is ghost hunting with ghost powers. It's like the least popular White Wolf game. It's the only like White Wolf game that doesn't have a colon in its name. It's cool. It was weird, and I love it. Hopefully, we're getting a new one because they were mentioned in the Hunter book, the new Hunter book. So check that out. I don't know. I don't think I have anything coming up. So that was it for me. Yeah, like I said, I'm running a Jewel Heist for Delta Green. Check it out. I hate Pittsburgh. Thank you for watching. We'll see you when we come back. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.